workflow. It's definitely the easiest to get your results happening. You don't want to craft this amazing drum or mix balance and then go, oh, okay, cool. Now I'm going to put my bus compressor on.
Yeah.
And then have to start all over again. No.
Yeah.
You want to, So definitely working from the 2-bus
down,
and then into the drums and down. Yeah.
Amazing. What does some of your routing look like in this mix template?
It looks really complicated, but it's like sometimes I even look at it and go, holy shit, what am I doing?
How did we get here?
But, it's because it has evolved and has gotten more convoluted. One thing that's permanently set up there is triggers for drum samples. That's a pretty... Some bands I work with still take issue with the fact that there might be drum samples on their records and that's not real. And it's just, these days, it's just a part of making modern heavy records. Is the kick's probably going to, for the most part, is probably going to be entirely a sample.
Wow.
And it's really common. Mm-hmm. And then the snare will usually have a blend
mix
of a sample and the recorded snare. And then toms are 50-50 depending on what the recorded sound is like, what the performance was like, what we're going for. So sometimes it's all sample, sometimes it's all real. Just depends on what that job needs. So all of that's set up. I've got MIDI tracks to do all the sample triggering, and then just instrument groups for each instrument, and then just some effects. And then all of that goes to a 2-bus with a little bit of, mix bus processing on it. And then there is sort of like a ghetto mastering chain there just so I can make sure things are in the ballpark and going to work okay under sort of some mastering limiting. And that's about it.
Amazing. I was going to ask you, so are you using the actual trigger plugin, like the Steven Slate trigger plugin?
Yeah.
And you have, I'm assuming like a few go-to kicks and snares, but there's probably...
I have some. Sorry to cut you off.
No, but I'm assuming it's not like a ton, right? Yeah, I'm assuming you have like a few.
I have like the folder of samples is huge because I've accumulated some over the years, and then every now and then somebody will bring out a new sample pack, and you drop your $20 on it just to check it out. But which is sometimes fun. Sometimes there's an amazing kick or snare in those, and it's worth having and adding to what I'm using. Lots of the time, there's a couple that I'll go to, and I'm taking samples off every kit that I record as well.
For sure.
So lots of the time, it's the whatever the toms the drummer has played will be the ones that I'm triggering.
Oh,
so there's a heap of
dope.
Yeah, they're just isolated hits from the drum recording that we've done.
Sure. So I'm going to wait patiently for the Matt Clarke sample pack to drop. You'll let me know.
I've been, refining the process and getting the samples closer to what I like. It might be coming at some point, but no plans just yet.
All right, amazing. Yeah, so in that case, it sounds like the sample you're using is basically just like the archetypical, tom hit or kick hit or snare hit for this record, just to kind of keep everything tight.
Yeah, and I'm normally looking for something that fits with the references that the band have given me. At the start of every job, I'll say to the band, give me 3 or 4 or 5 of your favorite records.
Yeah.
Let me know what they are. Let me know what we're going for. So I'll try to find samples that are in that sort of ballpark. I'm not copying any one particular reference, but normally from 3 or 4 records, you get an idea of what the band likes.
Got it.
So sometimes it's a really clicky kick drum. Other times it's a real pingy snare.
Mm-hmm.
Just real thunderous toms. It just you've just got to try and absorb as much of the vision as you can before you start working on it.
Excellent. Do you have any favorite creative tools that you use?
The one I'm really digging at the moment is the the space reverb from Avid. It's their built-in convolution reverb for Pro Tools.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, man. And there's a bunch of different impulse responses out there that various companies and people have made that you can load up in it, and you know, it's got sort of these sonic imprints of real spaces and creations of stuff. It's very cool. So that's replaced all the other reverbs for me.
Wow.
Is just that one, just multiple instances of that one with different things
with
loaded
different
up
IR reverbs in it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you have a favorite IR reverb sample?
Yeah, it's actually the snare plate IR from Logic.
Oh,
so yeah. When you because I've got Logic installed on the computer as well, and they've got their own convolution reverb built into that.
Right.
And I went for a dig through all the Logic files and found the snare reverb from the Space Designer.
No
so
way.
Now I've got that in Pro Tools.
Well, I'm using Logic, so I'll check it out in Logic itself. That sounds dope.
It's really good. It's perfect for what I'm doing. It's short, it's bright. Just adds this cool body around the snare.
Excellent. Is there anything you do specifically in your productions that you think gives you a trademark sound?
Maybe the way I'm approaching vocal production is starting to be a thing, I think.
Awesome.
I'm really big on layering. I think that's super important. I think it's something that's missing from a lot of local productions, not just here, but from everywhere, like sort of at a local band level. I think bands aren't spending enough time on the vocal arrangements, not just where the vocals actually sit, but also harmonies and overdubs and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not even really working with that many vocalists that sing, you know, but it's how many different horrible growling sounds can the vocalist make, and can we get something cool out of layering a low with a high, and do we double track everything and to add thickness and is there an extra layer that kicks in to tell the listener that it's the chorus? I think adding those cues in for the listener and knowing, okay, that bit's bigger, so it's the bit I'm supposed to pay attention to. I think that helps sort of level up the production.
That's awesome. How do you balance your creative vision with what the artist is going for?
It's not about my creative vision really at all.
Nice.
It's about what the client wants. Sometimes there's a little bit of discrepancy between what they say they want at the start of the project and then all the things they want to add during the recording.
Sure.
So they might be particularly into a certain type of sound, but their arrangement isn't reinforcing that. You know, they might like something that's got real sparse, just groovy sort of drums, and all their references that they tell me about have that, but then their drummer's a bit better than the drummers on the references, or just more technical, so he'll want to overplay. And sometimes, or the guitarist, I've come across that as well. The guitarist wants to put a solo in every break of the song, and sometimes it doesn't fit with what they're going for, so you have to gently try to talk them around to just either ditching those things, or I need to reassess what I think the vision is. And that happens sometimes, that I've completely missed the point of what they're doing. And that's I try to not even start a recording project without having a clear idea from the band. Yeah, because you don't want to get halfway through a record and go, I thought we were making this super slick, very glossy, very edited thing, and then the band wants something raw and vibey, because there's, you know, some things are sort of baked into the recording process and to the arrangement. It's just about, for me, it's just about finding what the band wants and then using what I know to get them there.
Yeah. And you don't find that you're educating them so much. You're kind of just trying to be there, hold their hands.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just trying to guide them through to get to what they want. Sometimes there's a little bit of educating of like, oh, you like that record? Well, they used this particular amp model on that. So the amp that you've got isn't going to get us that particular sound. Mm-hmm. So let's just get, I've got I don't know if you can see.
Black Star.
Skype, there's a Black Star, there's a PV, there's an Orange.
Wow.
I've got a few different options here. And I know a bunch of people with other gear as well. So, and most studios have a backline as well that they're happy for us to use. So the right gear is out there. We've just got to know what it is.
Yeah. Amazing. Do you have any rituals or routines that you do to either get or stay inspired?
Lots of listening for stuff that's cool. I hate the idea of just being stuck in a certain genre or time period with my own listening. I'm very interested in always knowing what the cool thing is right now. Whether I like it or not, I'll try to stay on top of it. There's across all of music, there's new stuff coming out all the time. Every day there's a whole stack of new records released, and it's a little bit of effort to stay on top of it, but it's fun. I still just love listening to new records. So that's a big part of it is listening to everything that's coming out and trying to find the thing that's exciting about it, and then it's just loving music and just wanting to be a part of it all the time.
I love it. If you could impart some wisdom to somebody getting started in music production, what would you tell them?
Learn from somebody who's already doing it. That's a big part. It's been a big part of me developing my skills as well. I did a bunch of sort of very basic home recording when I was first getting into it, playing guitar through the home stereo and taping it, or when I was a kid, really, really amateurish attempts at that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I did a degree in audio production at one of the private colleges here in Sydney, and I still came out of it super green and super just not ready to be taking on clients. And I think most of my learning initially was coming from working for other people, working for established producers in their studios, and just learning as much as I could.
Nice.
I think where most people get stuck, doing it yourself out of your bedroom, everybody can get the evaluation copy of Reaper and work out how to use a DAW these days. The information's all out there. But I think getting some hands-on learning from somebody who's really good at it is going to help you more than anything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to like, I guess, do that these days with the home studio thing, and people kind of like going into their little man caves, woman caves, and never coming out seeing anybody else.
Yeah. It's like I'm feeling that here. Working in the couple of studios that I've worked at, there was definitely always a progression, and we were still taking on interns, and that was part of the process. Was you would have an intern on your session or an assistant on your session to do a bit of the setting up for you and help things running. And I'd love to be able to do it here, but it's tough in as you said, in a man cave type situation where it's, you get a whole band in here and me, and it's kind of just from a space point of view.
Yeah.
there's not room for anyone else here. With record budgets being the way they are, trying to do things quicker and still get the same results, it's tough to find room to help people out.
Any advice to like, find a mentor, find somebody?
Facebook groups for a start. That's how you and I started talking.
Sure.
There are these amazing communities on Facebook, especially, and across all social media of learning things and